Alright guys, this is what I got here. I have a Honda CB650 Custom. I picked up extremely cheap, almost got it given to me. They were worried it was locked up, wouldn't run, might have some problems. Now I've had to do quite a bit. I actually completely dismantled this whole thing. All the electrical, everything. We can tell here. Some point in time, this bike was in a house fire. And of course, because the bike is an 81, you cannot seem to find parts for it. So I've had to do a lot of looking to try to find what I could for it to get what I could fixed. I've already put new throttle cables on it, brand new. That was a chore to find. I do have a new choke cable ordered because it's broke on underneath here where it bolts in. Cable's fine, just the bracket that bolts up here into the hole is bad. But anywho, I'm had to tear the carbs apart and get that all cleaned up. The carbs were just disgusting, full of brown fuse. I had to clean the fuel cap up. I oiled it all up. It was so rusted. It fused itself together, and I actually come pretty close to breaking the key. Let me get the tank here. Try to show you. I mean, tank is just horrible. You cannot see nothing in it. So, I am actually going to try a little trick. Muriatic acid. You can get it at any pool place. They say it's a quick, easy way to clean a tank. I've never done it, but I'm going to try it. Now, they say just do a tad bit inside of it and just enough to get it to cover so you can, you know, rotate the tank to the sides and have it cover and set it up on its backside and whatnot. But, I mean, this tank is just terrible. So, for $7, I went to my local pool place and I picked that up. Now, make sure you remove your petcock, plug it off. I didn't have a plug that fit it, so hopefully without it leaking, I was able to stuff a bag into the bottom of it. This does not take very long compared to what I've read. The tank is pretty solid. I mean, it's got a lot of flake onto the paint, whatnot. And one of these tanks used are running between 150 and 350 bucks. So, if I can save this tank, I would like to. So, well, what you're going to need is some pans that you don't mind ruining. A funnel that you don't want to use. I actually think I'm going to use one of these buckets, to tell you the truth, to dispose of it. Just something you can pour it all into. Now, these buckets are bad and not really, you know, going to be in a big rush with it all, anywho. So, I can dispose of it and do it properly. But what you're going to do, oh, you can already see it's smoking. Don't know if you can see it. Well, you can't really see, but this stuff is actually smoking. Yeah, I know, it's hard because I live right next to a train track. Anywho, now that the train went away, what you're gonna do not get this stuff on you. I mean, it is acid. It's not something you're gonna want to touch. What I'm going to do is come over here to my wall. I'm going to grab an old funnel. It's kind of nasty and it's broke, falling apart. And if I could use this funnel, I'm going to. If not, I'll use another one, just go pick up a new one. But let's try this, see how this works out. Like I said, do not touch. Wow, this stuff is smoking like crazy. Wow, that is just insane. And I know I didn't say this, but the best thing, oh yeah, holy crap. That stuff is, holy crap, that stuff is, wow. I can already see partial of the tank already. Oh yeah, that stuff. See if I can clean the lens off here. Oh yeah, this was terrible. It's already chewing it right down. Whether it'll do enough of it or not, we'll see. I think I'm gonna go a little bit more with it. I didn't get quite that much in it, trying to be careful. Be careful not to breathe this stuff in as well. I should actually be wearing gloves, but I'm just trying to be careful with this end here, so I'm not really touching it. There's about a half a tank in there. Now, according to what I read, this stuff doesn't take long. You don't need much time at all before it starts doing the job. And I mean that stuff, there you go, you can actually see it a little bit. This stuff is just smoking like crazy. I did see it a little bit. Man, it must be working. It's smoking. Just gonna rotate on its side here. It is about 12:15. Now, one thing that I did is I let this tank sit outside inside the sun for probably an hour and a half. Probably a couple hours is probably going to be your best bet. Obviously, it works better with heat. But as you can tell here, you need to be very, very cautious because it is extremely flammable. And it's not really designed for this, but for $7, and if it works, I mean, hey, I'd like to get the bike back going again. I mean, and then it is smoking pretty good. I mean, it's hard to see on the phone. Look at that. Right down. Look at that. It's cleaning that tank right up. That is insane. Now, as you see when I'm pouring it in there, this stuff comes out like water. So we're really going to be able to capture the good cleaning section of all this. You see how good of a job it really, really does. Actually going to try putting a little more. There's not really much in there. I didn't even do a half. Okay. That's about half the jug. I don't want to really go more than that. Ooh. Stuff's potent. Yeah, I try not to breathe this stuff in, guys. If I was you, I actually would be wearing probably a mask. Honestly, I probably shouldn't be doing this without it, but well, just don't do what I'm not doing. Holy crap, that, believe it or not, that stuff chewed right down to the tank. That is insane. I cannot believe how good it cleaned. It's hard, but it's starting to work, but I didn't get a lot of it. Hold on here, guys. I'm just trying to take the gas tank mount off. Don't want to lose it. I mean, I just starting this, and I can already tell you. And you can see the smoke. I mean, that stuff is. Whew. I'm just gonna lay that bucket there so it doesn't walk. I'm gonna take that as that stuff is working. All right, well, I'm gonna shut the camera off here for a sec, put you on hold, and come back to it here in a couple minutes and let it sit. All right, we'll be back. All right, guys. It's been about 15 minutes. That's it. Now, I did notice I have a leak coming from the side of my tank. I was riding a little more than I was expecting. But what I had done, what you're gonna wanna do is after you fill this up, and please, guys, I realized it the hard way, put a mask on when you guys go to do this. Because I breathed some of this in and I'm having a little bit of a hard time breathing. I mean, I do have asthma and stuff anyway, so for you asthmatics out there doing it, make sure you do that. Now, I know everyone's freaking out, oh, water in your gas tank. That's why I said make sure you get different pans. I can tell you right now, I tried pouring it all inside that bucket there. It was just harsh. But you're gonna wanna make sure you get all this acidic out of your tank anyways. So I'm gonna flush it, but look at that, guys. That stuff just completely ate all the rust completely out of that tank. I can't even stress it to you. So, phenomenal. Just completely phenomenal. No, I mean, I got a buddy that does fabrication. Look at that. Oh my God. That is just insane. I'm gonna have him fix my tank for me so I don't have to buy a new one. That's gonna end up working for me. But for the people out there that can't do that, I mean, if it, even though this is acid, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to eat through. So I'd give this a shot if you could. Got to get another container here. Try to put this water in before it overflows. Can't really tell, but that's got the acid in it. Look at that tank. It completely ate the rust out of it. Now generally, what you're supposed to do, it's my little guy there. Generally what you're gonna do is you're gonna flush this out with water. You can generally just put the cap on it, stir it up, flush it, done with it. But it seems like I gotta have this welded. I want all this stuff cleaned up. But yeah, it's still got some smoke coming out of it a little bit, so I still know there's some in there. But you're gonna take that and let that drain. Then you're gonna come over here and grab some gas into another containment. A bucket, I got lids for these buckets, so it's gonna work out good for me. But, and then I'll make sure I take this down and find a place that will dispose of it the proper way. That way, you know, I'm not gonna do no harm to animals or kids. I really wanted to put the acid inside this containment, so that way I didn't have to worry about my kids playing around in my garage. But for the time being, I'm thinking this is gonna do it up. So now, if I didn't have to fix this tank, because it's just leaking right there. I was afraid it was gonna, but I was hoping it wouldn't. You just pull in there, grab about a gallon of fuel, put it in, take your cap as such, put it in there and shake the shit out of it. Excuse my language. Shake the crap out of it. And re-drain it. And you're good to ride. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see if I can get some more videos out. Like I said, please be about the caution and about the safety. Make sure you guys wear hand protection, a mask. This stuff is potent. But I tell you what, you've seen it yourself, you know, within 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, and it completely chewed my tank out. All that rust and all that gunk, I mean, there was clumps of stuff coming out of that tank. So it, just turning my hose off here. It just, I cannot even explain on how good it did. I mean, I showed in the beginning here, but it worked wonders. But I tell you, don't breathe it in. I mean, it even shows on the bottle. You know, you breathe this stuff in, it could cause fatal harm to your organs and all that stuff. You know, so just be respectful of the stuff. I mean, doesn't want you breathing it in. Nothing, you know. You guys just make sure you're careful with it, that's all. Put a mask on. I use that tank top there and put it around my mouth, and sure, no, that's not really a mask, but I had it right on hand, so it worked for me. Yeah, till again, guys, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed.